Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so let's get into it. Today's video I'm going to be talking a little bit about something that might make us uncomfortable. That's actually the topic of today's video. It's uncomfortable. Uncomfortability? Yeah, that's it. I think a lot of the times as parents, we either make the mistake of not pushing our kids enough or pushing them too much, and we don't know where that happy medium is between the two. We want our kids to be so shielded from everything, but we also want them to excel, and we can't have both. It's our biological nature to protect our children. So we do that. We protect them in any situation in which we think they might be uncomfortable or scared or hurt or angry or upset. We just inherently do this. It's biological. We can't help it. But we have to. We have to give that leeway. We have to allow them to be put in uncomfortable situations. Character is changeable. Character is malleable. We can teach character. In order to change our character, we need to be put in new situations, right? Because we need to experience new things in order to learn how to adapt and respond to these new situations. But situations are obviously always not comfortable, especially for a child. When something's new, they're going to have a lot of feelings towards it. They're going to be anxious. They're going to be scared. They're going to be angry sometimes. They're going to be upset. All of these different things, but they'll never know how to adapt to those situations if we don't let them. We never want to see our child upset. Sometimes it is completely necessary for their growth. Because look at it this way. If you protect them now and you never allow them to be upset or angry or frustrated or anxious even, when it comes time to you letting them go and they're put in that new situation, they're not going to know how to respond, and they're going to completely shut down. They want to hide their feelings all the time. They put their emotions in this box and they don't want anyone to find out what they're thinking on the inside, and it builds up until they eventually explode. They don't know how to deal with these emotions because they've never been put in this situation before. So if we want our kids to grow, we have to see them struggle. And that's probably the hardest thing to see. No one wants to see their kids struggle. We ourselves have to learn how to deal with watching our kids struggle, and our kids have to learn to deal with actually struggling. We obviously can help them when they need it. If they ask for it, we can help them, but we have to at least give them a shot to do it first on their own. If they can't do it, that's one thing. Another thing, like I was saying before, is it's not only important to have your child develop these unwanted and uncomfortable feelings, but it's also important to have them tolerate them, because it's going to keep happening again and again. They need to learn how to cope with these emotions that they're feeling, especially like anxiety and being angry and upset and frustrated, because those feelings are going to keep repeating themselves over and over and over again. For example, it's going to happen in any kind of relationship, whether it be with their peers, with their significant other, with their teachers, with their coworkers. It's going to keep happening, and they're going to have to deal with these situations. But allowing them to have already immerse themselves in these type of situations as they're so young, they're going to be more likely to be able to cope with these situations and these feelings when it comes time to do so. That's just how we practice. If we want to get better at doing something or tolerating something or feeling a certain way, we have to keep practicing it, right? And it's so important that they develop and tolerate these unwanted and uncomfortable feelings at such an early age, because it's going to help them in the long term. If they know early on that they have been put in this situation before, they're going to be more likely to be able to manage that type of situation over and over again. Essentially, they'll have a better position in order to manage these uncomfortable feelings. It's never going to change. They're never going to stop being uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable is the key to growth. Even as adults, I think that's what sometimes stops us. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable, but we also have to be uncomfortable in order to experience new things. If we want growth for ourselves, if we want growth for our children, we need to be put in these situations. And I know this video was kind of vague in the fact that I'm just telling you to put yourself and your kids in uncomfortable situations. That's like, well, that could be anything, right? But I'm gonna tell you guys a few ways that you can do this at home on a regular basis, or just keeping these things as rules or just rules for life, and I don't know, whatever you choose to do. Number one, I'd say, is don't let your child have a victim mentality, because nobody wants to be the victim. Nobody wants to know the kid who's like, poor me, poor me. I know a lot of those, trust me. The victims. Nobody likes a victim. But ultimately, being the victim, you're never taking the blame for yourself. You're never going to learn how to grow unless you don't take responsibility. And that's another thing, taking responsibility. Make sure that they are responsible for certain things in their life. Whether that be chores that they have to keep up with in the house, like making their bed, cleaning their room, doing the dishes, stuff like that. Doing their homework, taking out the garbage. I mean, depending on where they are in their age group, that will obviously be different, but you can have different sets of chores for different age groups, right? So depending where they are, they might have a lot more responsibility, but make sure they are on top of their responsibilities, because that's key. Another thing that you should be keeping in mind, with uncomfortability comes fear, and that's totally normal. Everyone is afraid to do something, but make sure that they know that fear should not dictate their life. Fear should not dictate their choices on a day-to-day basis. It's okay to be scared. Everyone is scared all the time around you, and you don't even know it. People are scared on a day-to-day basis. I get scared every day doing dumb things, and there's literally no need to be scared, because afterwards, it's like, wow, that was not so bad at all. And you can even give them an example of remember when you did this and how scared you were, and remember the outcome? It's just going to be like that, but better, because you're experiencing something new and it might be better. When they're trying something new and they fail, failure is okay. Failure is completely, everyone fails, right? But that's how we grow. We make mistakes and then we try again. We do it a different way. So don't expect perfection from them. They shouldn't expect perfection from themselves either, because ultimately when you're doing something for the first time, you're not going to be perfect, because then how are you going to do it again and be better? If you're already perfect, you can't be better. Another thing we tend to do as parents is shielding our children, like I mentioned. But don't shield them from pain, because pain is something that they'll never get around. We're going to experience pain over and over and over again in our lives, and we can't get away from it. So if you allow them to, I know it can be hard, but if you allow them to experience pain at a young age, it won't be so hard, and we have to learn to deal with that. So overall, don't let them lose sight of their values and your values that you have taught them. Even when putting themselves in uncomfortable situations and trying new things, always have your values in the back of your head. What are you trying to accomplish? What is your goal? Why am I doing this? What is it for? Doing something just for the fun of it is one thing, but doing something because you know it'll help you grow and it'll help you achieve success is another thing. So always have them keep that in the back of their mind. So yeah, that was just a little bit about being uncomfortable, because we're all uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable right now. You want to know why? Because I'm wearing jeans, and that's uncomfortable. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys learned something, because that's what I'm here for. Hoping I can teach you guys